Please join me in welcoming the 2020 Calder Memorial Trophy winner, Cale Makar of the Colorado Avalanche. Thanks for joining us, Cale.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me.
All right. Congratulations. Greater thrill to get the award or to have Wayne Gretzky give it to
you? Honestly, to have Wayne Gretzky give it to me, that was pretty cool. I never met him before, so that was a pretty surreal moment for me.
All right. Let's get right to the real questions. Let's start with Adrian Dater from Colorado Hockey Now. Go ahead, Adrian.
Yeah, congrats, Cale. You had such a great season in playoffs. I'm wondering we don't know when the season's going to start next, but when your off season starts in earnest, are you going to be focusing on anything individually at all, training wise, stuff like that for next season now that you've been through your first full year in the NHL?
For sure. I think one big thing for me is just going to be working on some cardio aspects of my game and making sure that I have muscles that are durable enough to play whatever minutes they need me to night in, night out. So I think those are going to be two big things that I'll focus on this off season. But yeah.
Thanks.
No problem.
Thanks, Adrian. Next question comes from Arif Dean of Mile High Sports. Go ahead, Arif.
Hey, Cale, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
So you're the fourth or the third current Avalanche to win the award with Landeskog and McKinnon. Obviously, they've had another guy win it in 1999, but you're the first defenseman to win the award. What does that mean for you to be probably the first big-name defenseman drafted and developed by this organization to win an award like this?
Yeah, no, obviously, I'm very honored. And just to be able to bring the trophy back to the Avalanche organization is pretty special. And like you said, like you touched on, those two great players in Landeskog and McKinnon, obviously they're fun to watch, and I'm just happy to be able to boast about the Avalanche organization now and bring it back there.
Thanks, Arif. Next question comes from Mike Chambers from many different outlets. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Cale. It's actually the Denver Post, but congrats, Cale. And I want to ask you where you're at right now, how you learned. Are you in Denver or Calgary? How you found out, and if you've had a chance to meet and talk to, of course, Bill Hay, the 1960 winner and a good family friend of yours.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm just in Calgary, and yeah, so kind of just found out, got a phone call from one of our Avs personnel, and basically told me the news and gave my parents a call, and yeah, that was basically it. Nothing too special, but yeah, I was fortunate enough to be able to talk to Bill, and he's pretty excited. So no, it's been a pretty cool family relationship with him for quite a while, with him and my dad, and just in these past few years I've talked to him quite a bit and stuff. But no, he's definitely an awesome guy.
Thanks, Mike. Next question comes from Amelie Benjamin of NHL.com. Go ahead, Amelie.
Hi, Cale. Congratulations. I've asked this question of all the winners tonight, and might be both a little easier and harder to ask you. When you look at this award next season, do you have any idea, any thoughts on who could sort of succeed you as next season's Calder? Because we can't leave well enough alone.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Obviously, getting closer and closer to the season, any young guy can step up in camp, regardless of what team it is. So, no, obviously I'll be watching to see, but I think for me, it's just, I love to see young talent come in the game, and I know we're going to have another good crop coming in this next year.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emily. Next question comes from Rod Mackey of 9 News. Go ahead, Rod.
Yeah, Cale, congrats. Want to just ask you, what are the emotions like of the Calder versus the Hobey Baker?
I mean, I feel like maybe a little bit similar. The only difference was I got the Hobey Baker in front of a crowd. It was a little bit more nerve-wracking to talk in front of that many people. But no, other than that, I feel like for me they're pretty similar. And yeah, just to be able to receive them, obviously I'm very honored. And I mean, one big difference here was that Wayne Gretzky was presenting the award, like we touched on. So no, it was pretty cool.
Thanks, Rod. Next question comes from Matt Larkin of the Hockey News. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Cale, congrats on winning the award.
Thank you.
If you look at the vote, of course,
Matt, we're losing your sound. Why don't we come back to Matt in a second? Let's go to Ian McIntyre of Sportsnet. Go ahead, Ian.
Thanks, John. And congratulations, Cale. Quinn Hughes said a couple of days ago he really enjoys watching you and Miro and some of the other young defensemen to see how you play and what he can sort of pick up. Is it fun to be part of this revolution that seems to be underway in the NHL where there's so many great young defensemen? And do you think it's going to push you to be better having so many other good young players in the game?
100%. I'm very honored to just even be considered in that group. And obviously both Hughes and Heiskanen are incredible players. And you see what Miro's done in the playoffs here. And then even Quinn earlier on when both our teams were knocked out. But no, they're both exceptional players. I love watching both of them. There's so many things you can pick from both their games to help myself as an individual. So no, I'm excited to see where their futures can go. And hopefully we can take Demon to another level.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Next question comes from Ryan Clark of The Athletic. Go ahead, Ryan.
Cale, for starters, congrats on the award. Second, when it comes to just not so much looking at this season, but looking ahead to next season, I mean, how much have you thought about how big of a year that could be, not only just for the Avs and trying to win a cup, but for you personally in the sense of building off this year and the fact that you will be an RFA in what's said to be a really important offseason for this franchise?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to come more insight when we kind of get a starting date for the season. But I think for us as a team, obviously we feel like we have a competitor next year, and it's going to be exciting times. We're in a very, very excited group, and we're in a good spot. And no, I know everybody's just pumped to get back at it. That's for sure.
Thanks, Ryan. Have time for a couple more. Next question comes from Justin Ross of the Bleacher Report. Go ahead, Justin.
Cale, congrats on the award. Just wondering, as a younger player in the league, do you tend to use awards like this as motivation for yourself, or is it something that more comes second to everything else? Is that kind of your mentality?
I mean, coming into this year, individual awards definitely aren't something that I'm focused on. Obviously, the main goal is to help your team and eventually get that Stanley Cup. But I mean, and then after winning the award, obviously we want to be able to prove to people why you did. So, no, for me, it's just going to be able to try and get better every day and come back next season better than I was this year.
Thanks, Justin. Next question comes from Wes Gilbertson of Post Media Calgary. Go ahead, Wes.
Congrats, Cale.
Thank you.
If I can just kind of ask you a two-parter, what is kind of the most special part of this for you to win this award? And then, as part of that, what do you hope those kids who are going to tryouts and stuff at Crowchild Twin Arena kind of think when they hear a guy who was, there not too long ago has now, I guess, got his name on the Calder Trophy?
Yeah, the first part of that's a tough question to answer. Obviously, I'm just very honored to be considered for this trophy and to be considered with players like Hughes, Kubalik. Yeah, like I said, I'm very honored. But to think about the kids at Crowchild, where I grew up playing minor hockey, and to see kind of the success that organization has had, whether it's through Matt Dumba, Dubnik, or me as well, thus far, it's pretty special. So no, it's awesome to be able to be involved and have that to look back to.
Thanks, Wes. Next question comes from Matt Larkin of the Hockey News. Go ahead, Matt.
Okay, let's try it again. Can you guys hear me this time?
We got you.
All right. Thanks, Cale. I was going to ask before, there seems to be a public obsession with comparing you and Quinn Hughes. And I'm curious, is that something you follow and take interest in? And is that a fun thing or a thing that you'd rather kind of just not think about?
I mean, it's not something that I think about all the time. Obviously, you see everything in the media. I'm not somebody that goes and reads everything, but no, it's awesome. I love comparisons, and I feel like we have very similar styles of play. And like I touched on earlier, I think it's important that as especially a young guy, you're able to watch other guys play, whether it's veterans in the league like Yossi or Hedman or younger guys like Hughes and Heiskanen. And I think you need to be able to take little things from everybody's game and kind of add those aspects to your game in order to improve.
Excellent.
Thanks, Matt. Final question comes from Ryan Clark of The Athletic. Go ahead, Ryan.
Kel, we know we've talked to you about Miro Heiskanen and Quinn Hughes, but when you look at you three, you add Rasmus Dahlin to that equation. I mean, when did it kind of start dawning on you, like, wow, the NHL is going through this really interesting period where it looks like the four of you for a while could kind of be the leading faces for defensemen in this league?
Yeah, I mean, like I touched on, I'm very honored to just be recognized in that group. And you add even more guys such as like Adam Fox as well. And I think it's just a new time in the league. Coaches and organizations are giving younger guys abilities and chances to come up on the back end, and guys are taking advantage of that. But I think for us, it's just being able to move with the game. And I feel like for us, our main assets are skating, and we're able to use that to our advantage.
Thanks, Ryan. Well, Cale, congratulations on a fantastic season, a second impressive playoffs, and we can only look forward to more great things from you in the future. Thanks for taking the time tonight. Congratulations again.
No worries. Thank you very much.